There we go. Hey guys, what's up? It's Johnny here, and welcome to the July assignment critique, all about the rule of thirds. And as always, I'm here with my main man B. How are you, buddy? And you know what?
Yeah.
I think this is me, and this is B. I think I actually started on me. I always do that. Why do I
Oh,
do
did
that?
you?
But anyway, here's B.
Okay.
How are you, buddy?
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing great, man. It's a bit chilly today, but back from our travels, a week away on the road.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, really good. Really good. I met
Awesome.
someone from the Share Inspire Create Lounge and helped them out. It was really good, face to face
Oh,
with
wicked, dude.
John.
Wicked. And
Yeah.
hey, guess what, Brant? I got a new
What?
ride, man. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to hold this up. Check this out, man. Check this thing. Ugh, ugh. You see
Oh
that?
man, what is that, Johnny?
And you got no idea. I got so sick of crutches. As you guys know, my ankle's still broken. I got so sick of crutches, I've pimped myself out a little scooter. And I tell you what, I love it. But I got to say, it's been awesome, man. It's been awesome. So I got 2 more weeks to go, and man, I am dying to get out in the field and shoot. I just can't wait.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. I can't wait to get you back in the studio out too, Johnny.
I know, man. I know. I'm rocking it from home at the moment with my headlight there. Look, I'm an angel.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But I think we're gonna turn your video feed off, right? Because the internet's pretty bad for both of us.
Oh, yeah, it's been terrible. So I'm going to rock out now. And, bro, if you want to share your screen, let's get stuck into it, man.
Starting, yeah. Starting.
All right, I'm clicked on you.
Okay. Can you see? Can you see what I'm looking at? Perfect.
I can, man. I can.
All
What
right.
have we got first?
So rule of thirds assignment for last month, a couple of days ago, has been really, really popular. We've had a lot of images posted. So let's just jump straight in. Okay. So this is the first one from John, and I think it's his daughter. I can't remember. But let me start critiquing this one, Johnny. You still there, buddy?
Yeah,
Okay.
mate. Yep. That is his daughter. Yep.
Yeah, okay. So it looked like a wedding, something like that. So John, great image. And, rule of thirds, guys, is you break up your image into 3 equal parts, horizontally and vertically. And where those lines meet, that's kind of the point of interest. That's where the point of interest needs to be. So I suggested to John, great image. Love the leading line over here with the railing leading in. And the little girl's face, definitely that's a point of interest for me. Now, right now, her face is kind of just a little bit off the rule of thirds. It needs to be down here, kind of where her neck and her shoulder is. So I suggested to John that he crops off a little bit of the right and maybe the bottom, just below her hand over there. That way her face falls into the point of interest in the rule of thirds. And we've removed the bottom railing, which to me is a little bit distracting. It's a second kind of leading line, and I'd prefer to just see the one all the way into her face.
Yeah, I think it's a lovely image. He's done a great job, and the focus there is just dead spot on. And actually, you know what, B? I love the processing. It's like a real soft, like warmish type look, and I actually really dig that, huh? One thing it is on my eye, and this is a purely my eye is battling between her face and the bottom of her dress there.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is the dress and her face are pretty close to the same brightness in the image, and my eye is just popping between those 2 locations. So even a little vignette or just pulling the highlights down on the dress there with the brush tool in Lightroom or something like that. I think that would help me really hone in on her face there. And gorgeous image, mate. Love the capture, and I love the processing.
Definitely, and that's the thing about shooting weddings. Johnny, I know you've shot one as a landscape wedding photographer, but I've photographed quite a lot of weddings, and the most difficult thing is the dresses. So, a bride wears a white dress, and then the groom wears a dark suit. So you're basically shooting black and white in the same image, and you're trying to get skin tones right. It's a nightmare for wedding photographers. Anyway, we'll jump onto the next one.
Hey B, before you jump on the next one, I just wanted to let the viewers know who's out there now. We've got the Q&A open there, so if you've got a question, pop it in there, and I'm watching that, and we'll take care of that question for you. Awesome, man. Let's do it. I am.
All right. So, great. So the next one's Julie. She's posted this image, and it's a black and white monochrome image. Love this image. It's I like the way she's cropped it so that the horizon falls into the lower third of the image, and we've got a lot of sky over here. We've got a fishing boat there, and looks like a couple of fishing trawlers in the background. And Julie's had quite a lot of comments down here of how to make it, how to make this image better. What I would say is my eye is kind of battling between this fishing boat in the foreground and the fishing trawler in the background. Now, I don't know what Julie can do to make that a little bit better. I don't know if she needs to change her position when she photographs it, and maybe try and get that fishing boat more into the rule of thirds area, and just to make it a little bit more powerful. What do you think, Johnny?
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. Actually, you know what? That fishing boat in the foreground, if that was on the right-hand side, in the same position, but on the right-hand side, and those boats in the back weren't there, that would be a nice balance, because you've got something in the foreground at the right, and then the rocks out to the left, and then the beams coming down. That would balance the image nicely. Hey, a couple of things with this one. I'm not sure. Like, it's always hard, B, because sometimes when people convert their black and white, they like to add a bit of grain to give it that age look. But I'm not sure if you've done that with this one, but I can see a little bit of noise. So I think taking care of that little bit of noise would also help. And just on the top left, up the top up there, you can see there's like a little spot that probably needs cloning out. It might be a little dust spot. I'm not too sure. So I probably would have cloned that out. And the last thing,
it actually might be dirt on your laptop screen, Johnny.
No, it's actually, if I scroll, it moves with the window, bro.
Okay.
So it's definitely not down on my laptop screen. There's something there, but it could be. Yeah, you have obviously seen my laptop screen before. So, yeah. Anyway, and the last thing I'd say about this one, like, I think it's nice, but I feel like it may be just a touch. The highlights could be a little bit brighter, and what they would do, it'd just make those lines in the sky pop a little bit more. So, having a play around with your white balance, maybe just setting the white point there, it needs bumping up a little bit, or just even a little curves adjustment or something like that, just to make those highlights pop a bit more. Would probably just I was going to say a big word, man, but I didn't know how to say it. So.
Oh man,
would accentuate. That's not that. That's big for me. Come on,
it's very big. Yeah,
it would accentuate those highlights and make those beams pop. Cool, man. Lovely image and beautiful capture. And I love the light coming down. I think that just makes the image for me.
Yeah, and thanks, Julie. I mean, you in the lounge every day contributing. We notice these things. So thank you very much for your contribution to the community. All right, I'll jump into the next one. David, he's also in there every day. David has posted this image, and it's a little bit of a different take on the rule of thirds. The first time I saw it, I thought, oh, okay, where does my eye go? Like it's kind of, going around and around this image. And then it kind of settles on that dark thing above the middle door, the center door. And that's way off from the rule of thirds. But I kind of like it because David's broken the rule of thirds, yeah? And this is his take on it. I do like the way the number one sports ground, the writing or the signage on the wall is in the top third. The doors are the bottom third. There's even a little bit of the pavement up ahead here in front of us. But I do kind of like that because my eye goes straight to that middle little plaque, whatever it is.
Yeah, you know why that is, buddy? Because it's a broken pattern. Basically, it's just another things we look for is a pattern in something where it's broken, and that little plaque is actually breaking the pattern. So that's why I totally agree. My eye settles there as well.
And look, I don't think there's anything really more that he could do to this to make it even more impactful. I think it's a great image. It's more of an artistic image to me.
And I bet if you knew that number one sports ground in the history, it would mean a whole lot more to you as well, this image. Because if it's the number one sports ground I'm thinking of, man, it's got some history. So, that's cool.
Awesome. All right, jump into the next one. Lynn. This one's from Lynn. And maybe I'll let you start on this one, Johnny.
Yeah, so I think one thing I struggle with is to knowing what the subject is in this image. Like, is it the flowers in the foreground, or is it I'm not even too sure what that is is it like what is it, man, like an art installation or something like that, or is it the building at the back? I think that's one thing I struggle with. My eye sort of bounces around. Everything is pretty much, except the sky at the back there, everything is pretty much the same tone. And I think that's one thing I struggle with. And it's very important when you're photographing something to know what your point of interest is, know where you want people to look. So I think And I'm wondering, even B, if you had got lower in this shot, okay, down a bit lower, put the flowers right up in that foreground, you know, beautiful, beautiful flowers, right, and fill that foreground with the flowers, and then have that little art installation just in the background. I think that would make for a much stronger image. You know, you've got those yellows and greens in the back, and you've got those bright, intense flowers right up in the foreground in the viewer's face, and I think that would make for a stronger image here. Because to me, the building and that bright sky at the back, and the building in the right too, that little bit you look through, it doesn't really add to the image for me. So that's my take on this one.
I agree. And Lynn, definitely what Johnny says, bend down lower, you know, get to have those flowers in the foreground, and then that structure, the art installation with the yellow heads inside it would actually be in front of this building, and it may even line up with those windows. So that might be a really good thing. Hey, Johnny, just a quick thing. I don't know if it's you or me, but it sounds like maybe just lift your pop filter a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, man. I was just trying to unmute my microphone.
Okay,
Someone just
there we go.
come to the door, but we're all good. We're all good.
No, that's good. I'll keep going then. So here's
I'll just say one more thing about that thing from Lynn. I think she's nailed the image. Like, there's nowhere overexposed, there's nowhere underexposed. She's done a great job with actually capturing this image in camera, and the focus looks spot on. So yeah, props to you there. You know, you've really done well with your photography skills for this one.
Yeah, great. You know, add to the assignment, Lynn. Thank you very much. This one's from Gail, and man, I just love this image. It's a wedding that she photographed, and I think it comes straight out of the camera like that. And you know, when you're photographing a wedding, often you want to place the bride and the groom right in the middle, and that's because that's where you focus, kind of the middle focus point on your camera and in the lens. And what Gail's done here, she's, you know, pre-focused and then moved the camera to the left and up a little bit, and basically photographed it like this. And that's what I love about it, because it just adds to this image. You know, the bride's leaning backwards, she's kind of looking up at her new husband. You know, we've got all this open space in the top left here. Definitely the focal point, or the point of interest in this image, is definitely in the place where the rule of thirds, you know, the rule actually comes to play, where the bottom right third of the image is the focal point. Your eye goes straight there, and then it kind of wanders around. So great image, Gail.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, go ahead, Sonny.
Yeah, she's nailed this one. I mean, weddings are, man, I shot that wedding, dude. Never again. It's just, man, it's hard work. Hey, it's really hard work. But this image is beautiful. I love she's got a bit lower too, because you see where that horizon line. It's just above the waist of the male there, the groom, and I definitely love the fact, because the room in that top left corner, because the bride's like looking up that way, almost facing that way, and that room up there. So that where she's put it on the rule of thirds is absolutely nailed it. And I love the soft blue tones in it too, and those little warmer highlight areas look great. I love it. Awesome. Yeah,
and also those dark stormy clouds at the top. I like that too.
Oh yeah, drama.
Awesome. And I think she got it just before it rained, if I remember right.
Right. And
in Canada,
there's a nice little vignette on there too. So yeah, big fan of the vignette, as you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well done, Gail. Hey, buddy, are there any questions in the Q&A?
Not yet, man. Not yet.
Okay, no worries.
Please, guys, the viewers that are watching now, jump in and add some questions if you got them, and we'll answer them straight away.
Awesome. All right. Great waterfall from Heather over here. So she photographed this waterfall, and you know, I've actually opened it up in a separate little window because I couldn't fit it all on my screen.
Yep.
Waterfall. Yep. Great use of the rule of thirds, the composition. You know, the waterfall is falling down the left third as you actually split this image into three. It's definitely drawing my eye down and then to this rock over there where the water actually falls. For me, that's the point of interest in this image, and just a wonderful image. The slow shutter speed to get that milky look on the water, and then the green foliage kind of, you know, darkens it a little bit so that your eye definitely goes to the lightest part of this image.
Yeah, definitely.
Close this to so you can see the full image, guys.
Yeah, definitely. There we go. Looks like she's on at the right time of day too. Like, there's no harsh highlights on the ground, so it looks like it was nice, soft light. It could have been overcast light by the look of that. One tip I would have for Heather here is, and waterfalls. You know, waterfalls can be tricky at times, but trying to find a solid foreground object really, really helps. And I think that's the only thing this image for me is missing. Something in that bottom right corner would absolutely complement this beautiful capture here from Heather. And whether it be a rock or some bright leaves or something, just trying to find something to put in that bottom right third would be awesome, man. I think that's all it's missing for me. But I think, beautiful capture, great camera skills. It's all in focus, and I love the shutter speed you've chosen here. And the processing looks really natural. So good job with that.
Yeah, let's have a look at the shutter speed actually. Where is it? Quarter of a second. There we go.
Lovely. Right in Johnny's favorite range. So there you go.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Ricardo, my main man.
Yeah,
here it is. Yeah.
I want you to pronounce what this castle's called.
Okay. Neuschwanstein Castle.
That's bloody excellent, mate. That's way better than what I would have done.
I don't know.
That's good, man. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, great capture, Ricardo. And just so you guys know, Ricardo is my new best friend, because last week I actually interviewed him, or maybe it was a little over a week ago. And in the lounge, he posted something where he's just won an award for an amateur photography contest, and he basically says it's because of all the feedback he's got in the Share, Inspire, Create lounge that's giving him the confidence and the skills to go and enter a contest and actually win it. So, Ricardo, well done, man. And this image, love it. I love the way the castle is on the left side of the image. The composition is perfect here, really. For me, my eye kind of goes to the second steeple over there. That's the point of interest for me, because that's kind of where my natural, where my eye would go naturally when it comes to composition. And I like the way it's, he's left a little bit on the right here just to show what this castle is actually built on. It's built on a mountain. Normally castles are pretty high because that's, where the king lives, and he can defend it quite easily, and he can have a look at all these peasants down in the fields working for him, and
that's where I'd be.
Taxes.
Down in the field, slaving it out.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. I love the processing too. It's like almost an antique-y. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, man. Whether it's just the subject or the way he's processed it, I really love it, and I totally agree with you, man. Seeing that space around the castle just makes this image nested way up there on that hill. It's just what an incredible thing, and it's definitely the brightest thing in the scene too. The wider thing there, and your eyes just pop straight to it. So yeah, good job with that one, buddy.
And he did some good processing on the sky there. I don't know if you mentioned that, Johnny. I lost you there for a second. And also something to think about, guys. Ricardo actually, I think he had to walk quite a distance to get this point of view from this castle. Most people actually go to the castle to photograph it, and it's they need to use a wide angle lens, but sometimes you just need to go to another peak somewhere else and shoot it.
Actually, AB, that's a really good tip for guys listening is, this, like if you say you go to the Eiffel Tower, you need to challenge yourself and yeah, sure, get the shots that everyone else might have taken, because they're still, you might have never taken them, take that opportunity, but think outside the box and try and photograph something a little bit different than everyone else has. And that really helps to, for your photography to stand out in the crowd. If you can find a unique perspective or do something just a little bit different, I think it's a great challenge when you're photographing locations that have been photographed many times before.
Yeah, and I did that when I photographed the Sydney Harbour Bridge. I actually spent a day walking around just looking for different points of view, somewhere. I don't know if you've seen that one of my images, Johnny, with the Sydney Harbour Bridge, kind of framing the Opera House. I had to walk around a lot just to find that one composition to photograph. So yeah, great tip there. And I'm going to also be at the Eiffel Tower in about a month's time. So I need to think about that too.
Yeah, man. Think about composition. Hey, if you guys haven't checked out the Share, Inspire, Create show where we interview Serge Ramelli, I can't remember what number it is off the top of the head, but he has got an awesome panorama of the Eiffel Tower. I absolutely love that perspective. I've never seen anyone photograph it like that before. So, I mean, that's the sort of thing we're talking about.
Definitely. Awesome.
Cool.
Well done, Ricardo. And here's one from Steffi. Steffi's a very active member in the Share, Inspire, Create lounge, and love this image, Steffi. And the reason I love it is this moss on the right here. It's kind of a bit of a leading line, and it leads my eye in and down kind of to the the middle of the image here, and also the leading line of the horizon. You know, the
Tree
fir
line.
trees, the tree line going down there. So I love those dark clouds too. So excellent image. And then my eye kind of goes around and has a look at all these little cracks and things in the rocks, which are great. And also there's also another leading line with that tree that's fallen over there. So very moody, great image. And, you know, when it comes to the rule of thirds, I guess the horizon is only a third of the image.
Yeah, definitely. And I also, it's always hard, you know, choosing the right perspective to shoot at. And what I mean by that is the right height, basically. Do you shoot really low, or do you shoot, you know, middle of the range, or do you shoot really high? It's all about give and take. And when you've got a beautiful foreground like this and clouds that absolutely rock in the sky, you know, it's really hard to make that decision. I think Steffi's done a great job. I think the foreground really sings here. And yeah, and she's left enough cloud there to get a bit of an idea of that stormy looking cloud coming over. And it's always give and take, you know. Like it really is with landscape photography, deciding on what perspective you're going to have. I mean, it's simple. If there's not many clouds in the sky and you've got to look for something awesome in the foreground and put your horizon high, you know. If your sky is absolutely going off, you may want to show more sky and less foreground. So it's all about give and take. And I think Steffi's made the right choice with this one.
It is definitely, Johnny. And I was just photographing waterfalls this last week and working on the video that we're about to put in the Share Inspire Create Lounge, all about waterfall photography. And I was actually making a video about, you know, getting low and getting high, and actually, so it's really fresh in my head recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Cool, man.
Awesome. All right, let's jump to this one. William's got this.
Yeah, image. I can grab this one if you want.
Yeah, you grab it, man.
Yeah, cool. William, I love this. It's a nice, and I think it's like, well, how old is this thing, man? Are you looking at the age? He says how old it is. Like,
century.
OMG. Okay, so that's a little bit older than me.
Okay.
And I love it. I think it's, you know, finding unique subjects like this is great. And one thing about the composition I do really like, and this would have been easily, another thing about perspective is that if he had been just a little bit lower, that horizon line would actually intersected the roof line of the little hut there. And I don't know whether he did this intentionally, but I really like the height he's chosen there. You know, and that's one thing when you're thinking about with perspective, you just, you know, if he had to put it right on that, it wouldn't be as strong as image if it was right on the roof line of the little hut, you know. Actually, William, I did drop this one in Lightroom because I wanted to check something, okay? And I think this image lacks a little bit of contrast. If you look at it, not through the Hangout, actually on the in the SIC lounge, I was looking at it earlier. I think it lacks a little bit of contrast. You could get a little bit more contrast out of this image and make everything pop, and a bit more blacker blacks as well, just by setting the white and black point. You know, I simply held down the shift key, click on white, click on black in Lightroom or Camera Raw, and it'll set your black point. And it's amazing the difference it makes to this image. And the second thing I'd recommend is just a bit of a slight vignette. Don't forget to feather it. And I know I keep saying this over and over again, but man, a vignette on an image like this, you know, it's just going to pull you into that blue area out there, and it just makes the image just so much more dynamic, you know. So there is a bit of room to move in the histogram there. Set the white and black point and a little bit of vignette, and I think you've got a winner, mate.
Well, great, Johnny. I won't add anything else. Let's jump into the next one here. So Kathy has got this great image of a heron walking on a log, and yeah, love it, Kathy. Well done. It's a great image, and I like the way you've left some space for the heron to walk into, and that's where the rule of thirds really makes this image so strong. I mean, if you had cropped it right in front of the heron there, it wouldn't have been as strong an image for me. You know, you've left space, which is great. The heron's head is in the one point of interest in this image, and also that leading line kind of leads you in there. And I love that dark blue water. It looks like you have vignetted the water a little bit there, and the, you know, leading your eye into this image. So great capture.
Yeah, no, I think she's done well too. And the light, the way he's looking into the light, or it could be a she, I suppose. Looking into the light there, I really like that, and you can see the light reflecting through the bird's eye there. One little thing I would do, and this is always something to remember too, guys, is it's always, you know, you always got to try and think about what you want to leave out of your image, okay? And in this case, I'm sure you wouldn't have been able to get another perspective. Maybe he was walking along there, and this is the only shot you could get. So that little, I'm not sure what it is, rock or whatever it is in the top left corner, I probably would have cloned that out. You know, like it's not a huge deal, but I tell you what, you remove that thing and it's just one less distracting element, just simplifies your image. And tell you what, 2 seconds in Photoshop and a bit of content aware, and that thing would be gone, and just cleans things up. So, and guys, when you're thinking about composition, you know, think what you want to leave out, because simplifying is often, it's really tricky, particularly in nature. But when you can do it, man, it just makes things so much cleaner and makes it no doubt what the subject of your image is. So I would definitely remove that. But lovely processing, nice light, and a beautiful capture.
Great tips, Johnny. Awesome. All right. So here's one that I put in. It's not actually one of my images. A professional photographer shot this when I was actually filming him. If you actually look at some of my YouTube videos, it's all about the creepy photographer YouTube video.
Hey, bro, it's all out of focus, bro. What's all that lens flary stuff at the front, man? What's up with that?
Yes, you actually photographed through a you know, some foliage, and I think this is these are flowers, so that's why it's got those colors. But here's where someone breaking the rule of thirds, because the model's face is right kind of in the middle and her body's in the middle of the image, works for me. And I know we've had some comments over here where people have said it doesn't work for them and they don't like it, but I think it works for me because of all this blurry vignette type stuff on the outside. So it kind of draws your eye into the bit that's the most in focus and the most contrasty part of this. Yeah.
Hey, I don't mind it. I do think a crop would be stronger, but that's my opinion. I'd probably pull some out of that top left corner and push it further in. Because what I see is in the bottom right, there's an area of the soft that's more in focus than the rest of it. And if it was cropped a bit more of that stuff that is in focus above her head there, I feel like that bit in the bottom right would lead along her hands almost, you know, like where it's almost in focus, it leads along her hands up to her face. You know, that's just what I see. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But look, hey guys, in the end, all this stuff is really subjective, okay? Like, it's good to know the rules, but it's definitely okay to break them. And there's no hard and fast, you know? If you like something the way you like it, there's nothing wrong with that. Not at all.
Yeah. I think this was actually photographed by Damien Lloyd, so Sea Salt Studios.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome.
But
cool.
Hey, I do like, actually, even though I was having a joke about that soft focus in the foreground, I actually really love that. I love it in cinematography, like in video. It's beautiful, and you know, and even I'm trying and replicate it more and more with macro. You know, shoot through something with soft or something in focus. It's beautiful, particularly when you can get those nice colors like that. It just adds a bit more interest.
No, totally awesome. And here's one from David Enfield, and it looks like, I think they're tulips, are they, Johnny?
Yeah, it looks like it, mate. Yeah.
A couple of tulips, yeah. And this is something I mentioned to David is, look, great image. You know, you got some tulips in focus there. The background's out of focus. You know, it's a fantastic capture. However, to me, it's just a little too much. There's too many things that are, and they're all competing for my attention.
Yep.
So what I would do is either zoom out, you know, show all the tulips in one area, one point of focus, or one or 2 points of focus in the when you think of the rule of thirds. So have a lot more landscape, a wide angle lens, and just have those in focus, or maybe just focus on one.
Yeah, definitely.
And have all the others out of focus, and they kind of lead your eye into the one in focus.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And again, this is a classic example where you could either shoot through and have some soft in the foreground, to the one that's in focus, or have one or two out of focus in the background. So have one on the rule of thirds in the foreground and one off to the opposite rule of thirds in the background, and out of focus, and much stronger image. And again, you know, it's about knowing what to leave out of your image, you know, simplifying your image.
Yeah.
Awesome. And as we mentioned,
keep going.
Hey, you want to grab that one there with the boat on the right?
Oh yeah,
let's talk about that one quickly.
Yeah,
grab that one.
Another one from David.
I think it's David's too. Let's have a look at that one.
Give me a sec,
Yeah, cool. So anyway, and the other thing, you know, of course, when you're going in close, zooming in close or macro, is the background is just as important as the foreground. And big props to you, Dave. That one, I reckon you nailed the camera skills there. You know, the background is nice and out of focus, and the subject's in focus. Cool. Yeah. Awesome, man.
Awesome. All right. Anything else you wanted me to pull up here? Oops.
No, that's pretty good. I think we pretty much got. Actually, there's one there from Ian too. Do you want to grab that one? I don't think we've. From Ian Salter. It's the one in the snow with the bridge and the branches. Actually, let's talk about that one quickly for Ian.
No bridge and branch. This one? Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, let's have a quick chat about that one, and we might do that Byron Bay one, then we'll wrap, eh?
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So I think with this one, interesting subject, perfect. You know, like it's a awesome. I mean, we're so unlucky here. We don't have things like this around. I don't know where Ian lives, but man, we got nothing like this where I live. You know, it's cool old things. This is another classic example of what to leave in and what to leave out. And for me, Brent, there's too many branches sticking in from around the outside of this image. You know, it can be hard when you're trying to frame with branches like that. But basically what you're looking for is just a branch to come in over the top that sort of frames your main subject at the back. And for me, the branches here, for one, I think there's a little bit too many of them. And two, it sort of intersects the subject, which to me is the bridge in the background, you know? So I think that's something to really think about when you're trying to find branches like this to frame your subject, is the placement of it in relation to your subject and how many things are sticking in, you know? That's one thing I'd have for this. Yeah, have you got anything?
Yeah, I would. Next time you go back to this bridge, go to your left a little bit, walk down the river bank or the lake bank, and have the bridge a little closer to you, and so that it actually leads from the left down to a point of interest. So it's a leading line. So definitely, as you get closer to the bridge, it's going to be a lot bigger on your left, and then it's going to go to a small point down in the middle of the frame, or to the right or to the left. And I think that will be a more powerful, because then the bridge and the arches will actually lead you in. Like right now, even though the bridge is the point of view, but which part of the bridge should I be looking at? Is it this archway? Is it that archway? Is it that?
Yep, I totally agree. Or you know, another thing too is go up the bank a bit further, put on a tele lens and use the bridge as framing whatever's on the other side of it, you know, so you could zoom right into one of the arches and use the bridge as framing for what's through the other side. So, I mean, there's plenty of options for this location. I just think there's a few things you need to think about with your composition. One thing I've got to say, but I think your processing looks great. It looks really natural, and there's nothing blown out there, which is really easy to do when you've got snow like that, white everywhere. It's such a difficult situation to photograph in, and I think you've really done a great job there. So,
great. Cool. And also, and when you shoot this, you know, try and get low or try and get high too. You know, it's totally going to change the image just by bending your knees, or getting your tripod a little bit lower.
Oh yeah, get down and dirty in the snow. Love it.
Hey, bro,
there's one more.
Yeah. Oh, is there? What?
Yeah, don't fall in the lake. There's one more. I think there's that one there at Byron Bay. Can you bring that up?
Yeah.
Let's look at that one.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Simon Bala, we appreciate all your efforts in the lounge. You've been smashing it out, mate. You're always in there contributing and helping people, and you just picked up the attitude we want. Perfectly.
Yeah, totally. And Simon's from Melbourne, so I'm going to go visit him and a few others when we go down there next time.
Actually, cool. He was talking the other day about a fun little project, I reckon, that would be kind of fun. And I'm wondering whether we set up an album in the lounge, matey, about photographing your local area. And it's interesting, you know, because I remember reading a post on Visual Wilderness recently how everyone's local area is paradise to someone else, you know, and what that means is you're so used to your local area and probably photographing your local area, you forget, you know, how lucky you are to be where you are, you know. And Simon's been photographing those awesome little alleyways down there with mega
all the graffiti.
Wonderful. So don't always discount your local area, and there's nothing wrong, particularly landscape photography, man, going back and back and back and back again to the same location, because it just changes every day. The light's different, so don't discount it. Hey, quick one with this one. I like where he's headed with this. I mean, I love all that that water and it's almost like negative space. But again, you know, you need to think about what you want to leave in and what you want to leave out. I feel like the trees and the rocks on the beach there, I feel like I either want to see more of it or I don't want to see it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like I want to see this a little bit more of it, or it needs to see none of it at all, you know. And I'm wondering with this shot, because it's obviously from the location you shot it would have been difficult probably to see less of it without cutting those people off too much there, who are obviously the main subject there in the foreground, which I love, by the way. It's such a cute little moment too there. Yeah. It's like someone's dad, you know, just splashing around the waves, and that really rings home at the moment to me, of course. But I probably would have, you know what I might have done, Brent? I might have shot this vertically, okay?
Yeah.
So shot this vertically and then cut out a bit of that beach and rocks, okay? So put them in the bottom right third, and then going up the scene, you've got this gradient of greens and blues in the water and the lines running across across your vertical image. So you could probably even just do that with the crop right now. But I reckon that would make for a much stronger image. You know, real minimal, lots of negative space, and yeah, and I like where you're headed with this, definitely. And it's images like this, you know, we often think, oh, you know, I don't know. It takes a bit more creativity to think out of the box to find images like this. So I love where you're headed, buddy.
Yeah, it does. And, you know, Johnny, I've only just noticed a couple of people in the background there for the first time. You know, obviously when I first looked at this, my eyes went directly to the dad and kid over there. But yeah, I agree. A vertical crop. And I just noticed also a little bit of leaves at the top right. Yeah. So the trees do go pretty high, so you can actually frame it, you know, if you leave in more of the on the right and actually crop off the left. So yeah, great idea there.
Yeah. And that's, oh, well, there you go. I actually didn't see that in the corner there, so I missed that too, doing the edge detection. And so maybe the shot is even vertical, leaving those people up in the top there. Maybe it is a vertical shot, but the man and the boy maybe in the bottom left corner of the rule thing.
Yeah,
so you see the trees in the right. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely another shot there, no doubt. So yeah, fun location. I love where you're headed, and yeah, awesome, man.
Awesome, good. I'm just going to stop sharing here for a sec. There we go.
Cool, man. We're back on. Say goodbye.
All right.
Cool, man.
So guys,
epic, man.
Yeah, that's it. And just remember, jump into the Share, Inspire, Create Lounge in the next few minutes, because we're going to put on the voting for this month's assignment, August, and we'll get that going pretty soon. Yeah,
cool, man. Hey, B, I had a thought. What do you think about this? And guys, we haven't talked about this before, so I'm just springing this on B. Yeah. What do you reckon we set up some voting about course?
I'm not going to be dressing in women's clothing again, Johnny.
What do you reckon we set up some voting around maybe what we should create next with our course? You know, the Shutter Speed course is finished now, and you're putting in your studio course. What do you think about setting that up and maybe allowing people to do a few more votes so we can get things to filter to the top, and that might really help, you know, what people want us to create next? What do you think, mate?
And I lost you there. We're about to put in the waterfalls course next into the lounge. Yeah, I think we should. I think let's do 2 votes. You know, what this month's assignment's going to be, and then also what to create next.
Yeah, man, I think that's a great idea. I was thinking about it the other day, and so sorry to spring it on you last minute, mate, but I think it'll really help us get feedback from the members who we love, what they want next.
Awesome, yeah. So thanks, Johnny, for introing this and jumping in. I know you're still hurting a little bit with your broken ankle. I wish you speedy recovery.
Thanks, bro. And keep bringing those coffees over when you come visit, mate. That makes all the difference.
Yeah, totally. Awesome.
Hey, man. All right, guys. Have a great what are we up to? Well, we're going to see you in a month for the critique, but we'll see you in the lounge probably later on. And if you miss this, you know, you can always watch it again in the lounge. It'll be in the assignment critique section. So that's it from us. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
Cool, guys. And just one more thing before you switch it off there, Johnny. So we're trying to do the critique every Tuesday, our time at midday, Sydney time. So first Tuesday of every month, first Tuesday of the month, 12 p.m. Sydney time. So it'll probably be Monday if you're in America, Monday night sometime. Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Thank you. We'll see you in the lounge.
Peace.
Cheers.
Bye.